Attention! Ma'am, time battalion on present.
Seaman battalion, attention! Ma'am, Seaman battalion, all accounted for.
Rec battalion, attention! Ma'am, rescue battalion, all present or accounted for.
Rec company, attention! Ma'am, rec company, all present.
Sergeant Powell, attention! Ma'am, Sergeant battalion, all accounted for. Hamilton, attention! Ma'am, Hamilton, all here.
AC, attention! Ma'am, AC, all present.
Ma'am, Pleasant Valley, all present. Ma'am, Level Battalion, all present or accounted for. Ma'am, Fire Battalion, all present and accounted for. Ma'am, Force formed. Host. Bring your units to stand at ease.
Brigadier General Weishaar, Assistant Superintendent Alvarez, Board of Education President Logan, members of the Board of Education, Sedgwick County Commissioners Dennis, Cruz, and Howell, McConnell 22nd Air Refueling Wing Leadership, Colonel Barron, and Chief Master Sergeant Royster, 184th Wing Leadership, Colonel Bernardi, and Colonel Wiggle, distinguished veterans of Wichita, JROTC and Leadership Cadets, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 25th Wichita Junior ROTC Leadership Corps ceremony honoring our nation's veterans and saluting the Junior ROTC and Leadership programs in Wichita Public Schools. My name is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jessica Taylor from Heights High School, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Our reviewing official today is Assistant Superintendent Gil Alvarez this morning. We are very honored to have as our own keynote speaker, Brigadier General David Weishaar, Wichita Public Schools Corps Commander and the Commander of Cadets for today's ceremony is Cadet Colonel Nadine Abu-Shirbi from Southeast High School. The Deputy Corps Commander and the Adjutant for today's ceremony is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Callie Dilks from South High School. The Command Sergeant Major and the Color Guard Commander for today's ceremony is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Alexandra LaForge from South High School. The formation of units from your left to right are Heights High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Caden Brayley. Meade Middle School, commanded by Cadet Corporal Danny Tran. Marshall Middle School, commanded by Cadet Sergeant Major Marco Hernandez Nunez. West High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Azuri Campillo. Northwest High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Nina Castellanos. Hadley Middle School, commanded by Cadet First Sergeant Marie Lost. South High School, commanded by Cadet Major Marvin Zubel. McConnell Academy, commanded by Cadet Master Sergeant Annalisa Serda. North High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Karen Angel. Northeast Magnet High School, commanded by Cadet Captain Josiah Barrington. Truesdale Middle School, commanded by Cadet Staff Sergeant Tegan Wilson. Hamilton Middle School, commanded by Cadet Master Sergeant Jaime Juan Reyes. East High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Alejandro Geronimo. Pleasant Valley Middle School, commanded by Cadet Corporal Amy Aguilera. Southeast High School, commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Lola Young. Jardine Middle School, commanded by Sergeant First Class Mia Moore. Wells Middle School, commanded by Cadet Private Tavion Outland. And Curtis Middle School, commanded by Cadet Master Sergeant Laura Prado.
Bring your units to attention and present arms. Sir, cadet report. Bring your units to order arms. Bring your units to present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand while Cadet Command Sergeant Major LaForge directs the presentation of the colors. I was born June 14, 1777. My colors symbolize the patriotic ideals and spiritual qualities of the citizens of this country today. 50 stars shine from my union, one for each of the 50 sovereign states and the greatest constitutional republic this world has ever known. I am liberty. I am the flag of the United States of America.
Bring your units to order arms and stand at ease.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. After a turbulent entry into statehood, I have had a long and glorious history embedded with a proud heritage as the crossroads of the nation, known for its cattle drives, railroads, aviation industry, and abundant farmland, making it the breadbasket of the United States. A leader in equal rights for all, and the first to answer the call to arms and protecting our country, emblazoned on me and symbolic of our trials is the motto, ad astra for esper, till the stars prove difficult. I am the flag of the state of Kansas. My battle streamers stand in mute testimony of victories that 244 years of dedicated service have produced. My soldiers have taken their stand and held their ground in war and in peace, in the traditions set forth by their predecessors at Valley Forge, Normandy, Tucson, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, Iraq, and numerous peacekeeping missions. I have 187 battle campaign streams. I am the senior service. I am the defender of freedom. I am the flag of the United States Army. Steeped in the leatherneck pride and traditions of Iwo Jima and Tripoli, I have been a leader in the defense of freedom in the air, on land, and sea. Known and respected around the world by my motto, Semper Fidelis, I am fidelity. I am the flag of the United States Marine Corps. From the yards of my first privateer to the decks of my newest nuclear carrier, my men and women have carried the battle to the enemy's shores. I have defended liberty on the seas against all who dare to challenge, and my heroes have remained victorious. I am tradition. I am the flag of the United States Navy. To dutifully serve their country in war and in peace. This is the proud heritage of the men and women who gather under my colors in defense of my country. I am strong in my resolve to protect this land and the independence it stands for. When called to fight, I am as swift as an eagle and terrible in my vengeance should the liberty I stand for be threatened. I am freedom songs on silver wings. I am the flag of the United States Air Force. The nation's oldest and premier maritime agency, I have fought in almost every war since the Constitution became the law of the land. I provide aids to navigation, law enforcement, environmental protection, search and rescue, and safety on the seas. Always ready, always there, every hour, every day, around the clock and around the world. I am the flag of the United States Coast Guard. First incorporated in 1870 in the bountiful Arkansas River Valley, I have seen the thunderous roar of cattle herds up the Chisholm Trail. The birth of the aircraft industry in the 20s, a monumental defense effort in the 40s, and selection as an all-American city in 1962, 1993, 1999, 2009, and again in 2019. I fly with pride as the flag of the great city of Wichita. Wichita Public Schools started classes in 1870 in a second-story room in downtown Wichita. Today, our district is the largest in Kansas, educating more than 50,000 students in 90 school facilities. Wichita Schools serves a richly diverse student population and brings families the benefits of a large district with the caring approach of the individual communities it serves. I am the flag of the Wichita Public Schools.
Bring your units to attention and present arms.
Color guard, present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Star-Spangled Banner, which will be sung by the Southeast High School Madrigals under the direction of Miss Lisa Dixon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched when so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Cadet Master Sergeant Tatiana Esquita from Hadley Middle School will now read a proclamation which has been signed by County Commissioner Chair David Dennis.
Whereas JROTC was officially implemented in American high schools in 1960, began in Kansas in 1917, and in Wichita in 1994, making this its 25th anniversary. And whereas cadet leadership programs were started in selected middle schools in 1997, making Wichita a leader in the nation in this initiative. And whereas the JROTC and leadership programs are recognized in Wichita for building citizenship and good character in our youth. And whereas there are now more than 2,400 Wichita youth participating as cadets in 18 of our public schools. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Chairman David Dennis, and the Board of Sedgwick County Commissioners do hereby proclaim November 9th through 15th, 2019 as Wichita JROTC Leadership Week in recognition of these fine young men and women who are becoming better leaders and citizens for the future through their involvement in the JROTC and Leadership Program.
It now gives me much pleasure to introduce Commissioner Chair Dennis.
JROTC cadets, on behalf of Sedgwick County Board of County Commissioners, and especially on behalf of all the veterans that have served our magnificent country, I thank you very much for this ceremony today. You are truly one of the best assets that we have here in this county. We appreciate exactly what you are doing today. We appreciate what you do each and every day for Sedgwick County and for our veterans. Thank you.
Cadet Private First Class Diana Cochando from North High School will now recite the Cadet Creed.
I am a proud Wichita Junior ROTC cadet. I will always conduct myself to bring credit to my family, country, school, and the Corps of Cadets. I am loyal and patriotic. I am the future of the United States of America. I will always practice decision and patriotism. I do not lie, cheat, or steal, and will always be accountable for my actions and deeds. I will work hard to put my mind and strength my body. I will seek the man's leadership and stand prepared to uphold the Constitution and the American way of life. May God grant me the strength to always live by His grace.
On November 11th, we as a nation will give thanks and pay tribute to our 25 million living veterans. Men and women who have risked their lives, including many who are doing so now, to protect our way of life and to extend freedom to others. Veterans of World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq contributed to the majesty of this great country. We are very honored today to have so many Wichita and surrounding area veterans at our ceremony on this, the 65th anniversary of the Veterans Day celebration. 244 years ago, the signers of the Declaration of Independence declared that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Throughout the course of American history, courageous men and women have taken up arms to secure, defend, and maintain these core principles upon which our nation's freedom depends. Our troops have fought overseas to defeat terrorism, and in that effort, they follow in the footsteps of the 48 million men and women who, since our nation's founding, have stepped forward to defend our land. These veterans have diverse religious beliefs and come from many backgrounds and ethnicities. On Veterans Day, let us pause to reflect on the sacrifices of all those who have put on the uniform to serve in the United States military. Let us honor our veterans who proved their heroism and love of country time and again, from Yorktown and Gettysburg to Iwo Jima to Ichum and Afghanistan and Iraq. World War I was known as the time as the Great War, the war to end all wars. Although the Treaty of Versailles was not signed until June 28, 1919, fighting ceased November 11, 1918. When the armistice went into effect, Thus, November 11th became Armistice Day, later renamed Veterans Day as a result of a proposal by Kansas Representative Edwin Reese to honor those who had served in all wars. 101 years later, we still pause on November 11th to recognize veterans. Despite veteran sacrifices, however, wars have not ended. Ladies and gentlemen, this school year marks another great year for Wichita Public Schools. All of our comprehensive high schools in Northeast Magnet have successful junior ROTC programs that are helping young people become better citizens and leaders. 22 years ago, we started leadership programs at the middle school level, which have since grown to 10 programs in the city. We have more than 2,400 cadets in our Wichita programs. These programs have been successful in developing character and improving teamwork, leadership, discipline, responsibility, citizenship, and academics. Cadets are involved in positive civic activities across the city. Last school year, cadets completed over 17,000 hours of community service projects. This year, Junior ROTC in Wichita celebrates its 25th anniversary. In a short period of time, we have improved the lives and futures of thousands of cadets and have made parents, guardians, and teachers and citizens proud of their accomplishments in our school district. We are recognized part of Wichita, and cadets in uniform are common throughout the city, participating in community service and the positive civic activities. Grades in school have improved, attendance has increased, and discipline and overall performance, to include graduation rates, exceed the average. Many of our cadets are going on to college, often with scholarships. We are becoming better prepared to assume the future leadership roles in our city and our nation. We are better citizens. Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Callie Dilks will now introduce our keynote speaker, Brigadier General David A. Weishaar.
Brigadier General Weishaar is the Assistant Adjutant General Air, Kansas National Guard, and the Commander, Kansas Air National Guard. He is the Chief Advisor to the Adjutant General on all matters pertaining to Air National Guard programs, policies, operations, and command and control of the Kansas Air National Guard. General Weishaar is responsible for more than 2,300 Guard personnel. He joined the Air Force in 1981 and attended the Academy of Military Science, where he was the distinguished graduate and commissioned as a second lieutenant in 1996. He is a graduate of Friends University and the Air War College. We are very honored to have this highly accomplished officer as our keynote speaker. Cadets, please join me in welcoming General Weishaar with a loud and thunderous Wichita whoop.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting me here today and for the introduction. I'm not sure who that old guy is you're talking about. He sounds pretty dang old. It's a great event. I also have to thank my two escorts for the event. Ladies, Miss Barra and Miss Rodriguez. I don't know what happened if they were late for formation one day, but I guess they got stuck with my escorts, so I apologize for that, but thank you. So I've got lots of words on paper here, so if I could just throw these things out and say, wow, this is impressive. North end of the building, south end of the building. This really looks fantastic. Thank you all for being here. I want to congratulate all of you cadets for being part of the 25th anniversary of this great program. To the cadets, thank you for being involved in the wonderful leadership and team building program that you have right here in Wichita. I also want to thank the remarkable RT instructors. Colonel Hester, you and your staff across this district have done a fantastic job. Thank you. In fact, I was talking to Colonel Hester. I got the opportunity to meet with the Lieutenant Governor yesterday. Guess whose name came up? Colonel Hester. He was very happy that Colonel Hester came back to this program. So, Bob, thank you very much for what you're doing. You and your staff are developing leaders for this nation. you're molding these young men and women across the city of Wichita. We heard a little bit about the Veterans Day history, so I want to share a little bit more about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a celebration of not the souls that we lost, but rather the souls that we were fortunate not to serve with. It is a time to honor veterans and their families of all wars for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good, even today. While every American has been exposed to this holiday, there still remains some confusion as to who we are honoring. Veterans Day is for honoring those who have served in uniform, whether or not they have seen combat. And I still seem to get that mixed up in my mind, so the easiest way for me to remember this is Memorial Day is where we celebrate those who died in combat. Veterans Day is for the living. Now that we understand a little bit more about Veterans Day, I want to move on to talking about how the choices you make are going to impact your futures and will also help you serve like we do as veterans. So my homework, I use that word homework. I'm still doing homework at my age, so don't think you're getting out of homework tonight just because you're maybe a senior in high school. We're still doing homework. My homework led me to find the JROTC motto is to motivate young people to be better citizens. Well, how do we do that? How do we become better citizens? My belief is it's all about your character. Dictionary.com, yep, I know how to use it here, simply defines character as the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. I believe your character is really defined by what you do when you're alone and nobody's watching you, or in any given situation that nobody's telling you what you got to do. The decisions you make or how you act in any given situation is what defines your character. People trust men and women on character, not because they're going to do something for themselves. Men and women of character do something for the team. They're not selfish. Ultimately, trust is what holds the team together. I want to give you a few things I hope will help you define your character and hopefully build you into some leaders. First, I suggest you develop the ability to say, that's not good enough. Be the one to say, do we really understand everything we need to know? Are we thinking about the right questions? Is there another way to figure this out? But there's an even more important statement you must learn to say. And as leaders, you are going to have to develop the good judgment, character, and confidence on when to say, that's not good enough. When you say that, be prepared to follow up with action. Don't be the one just ask the question with no action in place. You have to be able to affect that change to get to good enough. The second thing I suggest is you decide to serve others. Sometime in the next year, not 20 years from now, ask yourself, how are you going to make a difference? Will you volunteer to help organize an event or donate to a food drive? Are you going to be the one to clean up the park or volunteer for Cadet for Humanity on Saturday? You have gifts that will allow you to serve others. You have chosen to develop those gifts, or you would not be part of this program. All of you have an obligation to use your gifts to build a better world. So do that by choosing in some way to serve others. Live a life that is bigger than your own. One way to do that is by choosing to serve others. The third suggestion I have for you is to develop relationships of trust. The work you will do in the future and the problems you will solve do matter. But let me tell you something that some of you might not believe yet, the people matter most. When I look back at all the things I've done in life, the hard decisions, the difficult projects that have taken months or years to accomplish, what I remember, what endures with me, is the relationships. It's the people who are there with me. Regardless of the trust or the tack at hand, the trust is what really weighed out. Trust is more valuable than gold, and they will last a lifetime. As you grow from your early teens to later teens and beyond, building that network of people who can help you on the hardest problems will matter even more 20 years from now than it does in the next 5. Because all those friends are building experiences and perspective, just like you'll be doing. Relationships of trust will allow you to benefit from their experiences as well as your own experiences. Keep building relationships of trust, and you cannot imagine the payoff. So I hope you develop the ability to say, that's not good enough. I hope you develop the ability to use your gifts to serve others and to build relationships of trust. You're well on your way to becoming leaders for our city, state, and nation. You're coming of an age and time of innovation and discovery unparalleled in human history. Truth be known, all of us up here are probably a little envious of what you're going to get to do in the future on what you're building. Thank you all again for being here today and for inviting me to help you celebrate the 25th anniversary of this program and Veterans Day. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and best of luck.
On behalf of the Wichita JROTC and Leadership Program, we would like you to accept a small token of appreciation for being an outstanding keynote speaker. Hua!
United States Senator Pat Roberts was our keynote speaker in 2000 and again in 2005. He recently sent a letter to Wichita Junior ROTC and Leadership Cadets that I would like to read to you this morning. I write to congratulate you on your success and wish you a heartfelt thank you for your dedicated service. JRTC calls for a commitment to self-discipline, personal responsibility, self-reliance, and commitment. I am constantly humbled by the personal sacrifices made by us, our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, present and past, whose service ensures America's safety and freedom. On this, your 25th anniversary of honoring these brave veterans, you clearly recognize their devotion, respect their service, and reflect their patriotic spirit. As JRTC cadets, you are acquiring the skills to succeed in any challenge life throws your way. President Lincoln once wrote, "Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing." I hope you continue to use these valuable learning experiences as a foundation for future successes as students, soldiers, employees, entrepreneurs, citizens, and parents. Again, congratulations on your success. Assistant Superintendent Gil Alvarez's dedication to the students and Wichita community has allowed him to serve Wichita Public Schools for 21 years. He has served as an inspirational high school teacher, athletic director, assistant principal, and is now the Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Schools. Through his transformational and servant leadership, 2 high schools he served were recognized as the top public high schools in Kansas, and his middle school students' academic achievements were recognized with the Standard of Excellence Award. Ladies and gentlemen, and cadets, please join me in welcoming our Assistant Superintendent, Gil Alvarez.
Wow, what a wonderful feeling to be part of this event and see all the amazing cadets in our district. You guys have done a wonderful job today and this morning. We do not have many opportunities in our district to gather this many Wichita Public Schools students together in one space, and you all are extremely impressive. I do want to, before I thank the distinguished guests that are here joining us, I do want to recognize and thank our JROTC instructors at the high school, as well as our leadership instructors, for all that you do to teach and lead our students and our cadets each and every day. You all teach and lead with honor, so let's give our JROTC leadership a round of applause. I now would like to thank our distinguished guests for joining us today. And I'm going to go through it, and if each one of you would just kind of give a wave so everybody can see who you are. But we're going to hold our applause until all have been thanked and recognized. So I would like to start with State Board Member Jim McNeese, BOE or Board of Education President Cheryl Logan, County Commissioner Chair David Dennis, County Commissioner Jim Powell, and County Commissioner Lacey Cruz. We'd also like to thank Brigadier General David Weishaar, and all our special guests from McConnell Air Force Base. So if anybody here from McConnell Air Force Base, if you just give a wave. We are so honored that you are here with us this morning to celebrate and honor and recognize all our veterans today, this morning. Most importantly, I want to thank our many veterans for joining us today as well. So if you are a veteran who has served our country proudly, will you please stand so we can recognize and thank you at this time. Students, now it's time to thank you for being involved in this program and for honoring our veterans today. I know that being involved in JROTC and leadership teaches you many life lessons, as well as instills integrity, honor, and patriotism, all things that will contribute to your success today and in the future. We are very fortunate to have this program in our district and to have so many of you participate. You learn the importance of citizenship, and you give back with thousands of hours of community service. We are grateful for your continued service to our Wichita community. It is truly a privilege for our district to offer this amazing opportunity for students to lead, serve, and inspire others. I know that you will make a positive difference, which makes all of us in the Wichita Public Schools extremely proud. Thank you for allowing me to be here today and celebrate service to our country with all of you. You make us WPS proud. Thank you.
Bring your units to attention.
Colors, vote. Left base.
Bring your units to stand at ease.
While Veterans Day is typically a tribute to America's living veterans, it is appropriate to include a moment of silence in respect for those who have gallantly given their lives for their country. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a moment of silence for our fallen veterans.
Bring your units to attention and present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of taps in honor of our fallen veterans who have made the supreme sacrifice for our country and our freedom. Taps will be played by Cadet Master Sergeant Nicholas Stanton from Southeast High School.
Bring your units to order arms.
Color code.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cadets will now conduct a pass and review.
Left base.
Pass and review.
I
Leadership Ceremony honoring our nation's veterans and saluting the Wichita JROTC and Leadership programs. Thank you for attending.